We went back and forth between balancing the finance aspect of it and the policy and development aspect of it, moving from the primary program to middle years to finally the IB diploma. How has that been? You've actually been involved with an online publication,
Yeah.
the Political Pandora. You were the one who sort of seeked out that opportunity, you found them. How did that happen exactly?
So that organization is led by. My name's Ishika Jain. I do the IB diploma program, and I applied for an undergraduate degree in economics to the University of Chicago, University of Cambridge, University of Warwick, King's College London, UCL, and LSE.
All right. So, how are you feeling about Chicago? ED, that's a big thing.
I'm very excited about the prospectus of attending U Chicago, studying where great economists have studied. So now that when I say I want to do economics, I'm not sure about whether I want to go and pursue something in finance
Hmm.
or I want to work in research or public policy. So I wanted to apply to a school which had an economics program that was a good balance of both of them. And that's where I thought U Chicago, it also has another major title, business economics.
Hmm.
So I thought that if I applied to U Chicago and I did economics, then I could also have the feel for what it's to do economics in a business setting and see what that's like. So I thought at U Chicago I'd have a good balance of both, and that's why U Chicago was my ultimate choice. And I also looked at other schools which have great business and economics program. So that's Northwestern, UPenn, Columbia. So that's why, to find that perfect blend where my interests intersected the best, that's what I was looking for in a school.
We went back and forth between balancing the finance aspect of it and the policy and development aspect of it. You had already done a lot of things which were in the developmental field. So, how do you want to take that forward as of now?
So as of now, as I enter college and I start my degree, first thing I want to do is during the summer or wherever I have time off, I want to work towards research more.
Hmm.
So I want to explore more policies, maybe write more articles and study how economic policy is manifesting in the real world. So towards that development aspect and public policy, that is something that I want to do in the future, in the near future.
All of that, like as I was counseling you, as we were having our meetings, we were having discussions, all of these other things that you do, the TV shows that you watch, the classic literature that you read, the songs that you listen to, all of them also found their way into,
Yeah.
what we were doing, what we were writing about. Do you have anything that you can, is there any way you can outline how these things might have affected your decisions, your essays, what we were doing together?
Yeah, so all the other things like the media that I'm consuming,
Hmm.
that significantly impacted the way I'm writing my college essays because it helps me understand me as a person, like
Yeah.
what I like, what my own interests are. So I think that found a way in my college applications. I remember mentioning a couple of artists in my U
Yeah.
Chicago Bias essay. So all of that really points towards where I'd be a good fit. So if there's a society in U Chicago that's talking about artists that I enjoy
Hmm.
listening to, so that just shows me that a college is a greater fit for me. So I think everything that just cultivates my personality and helps me in the college applications.
So I, for one, really enjoy talking to you about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And there's an essay prompt this year, actually, in the Northeastern essay, which talks about what is the financial impact that Taylor Swift has had on the US economy. So, how do you figure these things relating to economics, to anything else you're studying, to how people see global issues? Like, for example, Taylor Swift was criticized for her usage of the private jet. So,
Yeah.
do these things make it into your understanding of economics as well?
I think one thing that I particularly find fascinating about economics is how it intersects different ideas and different disciplines.
Hmm.
So every action, every policy, or every decision that is made by either us or authorities has an economic impact. You cannot deny that. So that is something that I am keen to explore. And it's also that pop culture, political media,
Hmm.
or anything that happens has an economic impact. So all of that, I like to see it through that lens and see the ideas that might have been underlying a significant issue. So understanding all of that has really helped me in my college applications and also developed my overall understanding of the subject.
All right. So, the first time I spoke to you, I remember you had just given your SATs, you had a phenomenal score. And at that stage we were still figuring out what we want to do together. Since then to the point now where you've completed the process, are there any changes that you can identify that okay, this is something that I've developed over the 2 years I've done this
Mm.
applications work?
Yeah, I think I've developed a lot as a writer, and
Hmm.
also I've become more confident with the way I present my opinions and ideas. So I remember when I joined Rostrum, I was very closed off in terms of I just want to do this
Hmm.
and I want to go to the UK. This is the university I want to go to, and this is all I want to do. But with my time with Rostrum and over time our discussions, I've become more open minded and more confident in my abilities to do other things other than exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
So that's made me explore different ideas, and that's also helped me explore things outside my comfort zone. So that has obviously helped me become more confident. And as a writer also, as I've worked on my college applications essays, I've worked on my personal statement, I've become more confident with sharing my own story and putting out who I am as a person, being more vulnerable in essays, something that I wouldn't do if I wasn't encouraged to do so.
So that also sort of takes me back to the discussions we had about Sylvia Plath
Yeah.
and the fig tree analogy and
Yeah.
how you sort of incorporated that in your essays.
Yeah.
So, what was your initial idea of who you are as a person and what you can do and what you want to do when you first started this process?
When I started, I didn't think I was very creative as a writer. I knew I could do analytical writing
Hmm.
pretty well, but I did not think creative writing was a strong suit of mine. But as I started working on different activities, and I started also filling in those sheets where we're asked about, like back sheets,
Yeah.
I started figuring out what it is that I want to portray myself as on the application. So I think that significantly changed for me. Then, while I was writing my U Chicago essay, which is known for being extremely quirky, and it's lengthy essay. It's not like a 250-word essay.
Hmm.
It's as much as I can write. So that time, I took a very different and creative approach to it. Even for my Common App essay, I used metaphors and I
Hmm.
used visual metaphors. So all of that really helped me develop as a creative writer and see my own abilities and where I can take that and incorporate all of that into crafting a very strong essay.
I mean, I wouldn't have assumed you were not a creative writer just from the very
Yeah.
first draft of your Common App essay. It was so strong, even at that point. I don't think it took a lot from me to bring it down to where
It
we
took me
ended up
two
with.
months to write that first. I remember I showed you my introduction,
Yeah.
which is just the opening paragraph. I think it was just one dialogue and a follow-up conversation, that my essay. And I remember it took me 2 months to just come up with that idea. We went from talking about my experiences in the boarding to
Hmm.
that final essay. So that took me a long time to just figure out and see how I want to share my own ideas and
Yeah.
just yeah.
So, coming back to the question of US and U Chicago, I know you came with a very different idea of what you
Yeah.
wanted, and you've still done that. You've still applied to the UK,
Yeah.
you still got through the interview round at Cambridge, you're waiting on the result now.
So yeah.
But as someone who's now qualified for U Chicago ED,
Yeah.
how did that decision come about? The shift from, okay, I want to do US as well. How did that happen for you? And what were your what were you thinking at that point of time? What were you weighing between the options?
I think in my mind, the biggest difference between studying in the US and the UK is the cultural aspect of it.
Hmm.
Now, UK is known for their prioritization of academics
Yeah.
and the overall college scene. It's very academic oriented. So when I started researching US universities, I started watching these vlogs on YouTube, which is day in my life as this university student. So this is where I thought of the more rounded experience that the US provides. Now, I had conversations with people who are currently in the US and they're
Hmm.
studying similar courses. So that's where I thought that studying in the US might give me a more well-rounded experience in terms of joining more societies, interacting with a wider range of people, and also exploring other passions. And with the US, there's also greater flexibility.
Hmm.
So right now, if I apply to the UK for economics, that's what I study there.
Yeah.
And that's the same for the United States. But I also have the flexibility of pursuing a minor or a different changing my major. So that kind of flexibility also was very attractive to me. So in all, the more well-rounded and diverse experience that I can have at the United States really attracted me. Also because a lot of my friends are planning to go there, so they convinced me in more ways.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you also get to be a child for a little bit longer when you're in the US. You're living with your friends, you're in one avenue, you're in one place together, and it's the sense of community that you've seen in the shows that you watch. So, did that factor into your decision that this is the kind of life I would have in the US?
Yeah, so this summer I visited the UK, and then I was just evaluating the differences between the United States and United Kingdom in terms of the community and the sense of belonging.
Yeah.
So I saw that in the United States, a lot of universities, U Chicago and all the other universities, have a very strong sense of community and who they are. So that was also really exciting for me to see, to be in a community which values you, which allows you to express your ideas. So that is something which I thought was very good in the United States. And similarly in the United Kingdom as well, they have the idea and they have that academic driven students, but the greater sense of belonging and the greater sense of community, I think, is in the United States.
And then, like, moving from the primary program to middle years to finally the IB diploma, how has that been? How do you think that sort of led you to a point where you were, you wanted to do economics, you had your mind made up on that subject?
So interestingly, in till grade 10, I didn't study economics formally. So neither did I study economics or nor business. So until grade 10, I thought I would go into business for sure because I hadn't studied either. I just knew because of what I've read. So until then, I was sure that I'd go into business. But then as I moved to the diploma program, I studied both at higher level under the IB program, and I realized I wanted to study economics more than business. I found that subject much more fascinating, much more interesting. So then that's in grade 11, once I started studying both of them simultaneously, that's when I realized that I want to do economics, and I was 100% sure of it because I found the subject fun to do. I liked how it integrated math, which is another one of my HL subjects. So all of that culminated into studying economics. Now the shift from MYP to DP was different for me because in MYP I took subjects which were completely science driven. So I had physics, chemistry, history, and I don't study any of those subjects now. Now I have business, econ, computer science. So that was a little different for me to adjust to, but everyone was aware we were studying these subjects for the first time, so it wasn't significantly challenging. But of course it was different.
So, did you ever want to be anything else apart from going into business? I wanted to be a doctor when I was 5.
Well, given that my dad is in the medicine space, he always had that idea of you should try. But I dropped bio the first chance I got, and when I had physics and chemistry, I never really felt that I would do something related to this field at an undergraduate level. I always thought of myself as more business, mathematics, that inclined. So I dropped those subjects and I moved towards business, econ, math.
When you actually first came to Rostrum, when I took a look at your profile, there was a lot of writing work that you had done. You seem to have a strong background in English. You were very comfortable with speaking as well. So there was this idea of that you would be a better fit for any sort of language or writing or these English programs as well. Did that ever like come into your mind as well? Was that ever an avenue you could have explored?
For me personally, I don't think I ever wanted to study literature formally. I enjoy reading books, I enjoy reading literature, but I never thought of pursuing it as a major or at an undergraduate level. I studied at the school level. I'm fine with it, but I never wanted to take that forward. For writing, for me, has always been a medium to express my ideas and learn more about my subject. It's never been about studying literature formally. As far as creative writing is concerned, I do understand the significance of it later on in life when I'm applying for different jobs, when I'm applying for masters. I think creative writing is playing a significant role in, so that's going to shape a lot of how I work. So I can see myself working towards creative writing But as far as studying literature goes, I never thought of that as an option.
In terms of writing, you've actually been involved with an online publication,
Yeah.
The Political Pandora. You were the one who sort of seeked out that opportunity. You found them. How did that happen exactly?
So that organization is led by a few of my seniors from school. So I followed that organization for a couple of months, and I really liked the perspective that they were putting out and the formality of the language and the overall publication process. And I found that to be a very professional way to deliver content.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I wanted to be a part of it. At the beginning, I struggled because a lot of my ideas were already publicized, and there was nothing like finding original ideas was slightly challenging for me. Referring to academic work, doing referencing, all of that was slightly new to me. So I did have face some challenges, but with good mentorship, I was able to publish a piece.
So I think this is something that you've continued doing at Rostrum as well.
Yeah.
Essay competitions, research papers, everything else. So let's talk about Rostrum exactly.
Yeah.
Where were you when you first started? How did that journey shape up to where you are right now?
So when I joined Rostrum, I knew I liked writing, but I think within my first couple of months of joining Rostrum, I was introduced to Northeastern's writing essay competition. And I looked at the prompt and I thought the prompt was pretty good and it was interesting. It was about the gig economy and its longevity. So I looked at the prompt and I thought this is maybe something I can do. By that time, I hadn't even studied macroeconomics. I had half an idea of what microeconomics were. So I thought, okay, I'll try it. So I studied the concepts that were associated with it. I read some sample essays and I just tried to do what I understood, what I made out of the prompt. So I talked about inflation, I talked about unemployment, underemployment. So all of these concepts that weren't even formally introduced to me. So that really showed me that if I can find a real world application to the theories that I'm studying, I'm able to understand it much better. So after I did the Northeastern essay competition, I think I was selected as a finalist for that one. I worked with Gwen for the John Locke essay competition, which was significantly more challenging than the Northeastern one, simply because the prompt was much more open-ended.
Yeah.
It was whether successful business people benefit others when spending or making their money. So now there's a lot of nuance to it.
Yeah.
Now, what do you consider a successful business person? Is it someone who's done it ethically? Someone who's just making a lot of money?
Yeah.
Is inheritance a part of it? So all of those nuances had to be captured, which I don't think was significantly a part for the Northeastern essay. So I think that's where I grew as a writer and I shifted my focus towards more academic writing. So for the John Locke essay, I was looking at economic theories, I was looking at Friedman's argument, then I was looking at the discussions that CEOs are having at the roundtable discussion conference. So all of that to like sort of counteract different economic theories.
Yeah.
So that was very interesting for me. And I think that was when I realized that, yes, I think this is something I can do at the undergraduate level. So when I was writing that essay, I started getting ideas for my personal statement as well. So that's when I think the entire college process really started for me in terms of like actually writing the application.
Yeah, I think that just gets you in the habit of
Yeah.
writing regularly and having to redo your drafts 11 times. So I think that would have really helped.